Guess who's back? And y'all, it's not just me. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And of course, we have got to talk the official news on, I think, something that we already knew was that Kenya Moore is indeed returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. So we'll get into that in a second because there's some more details surrounding this situation. We've got an exclusive from Love B. Scott, so we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about another city that's coming back that also happens to be another favorite of mine. But before we dive into that, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell button. Join the texting community. The number is in the link in this video. And also be sure to pre-order my new book, The Wickedest Wives, book 2 in the series. It's called A Vicious Reality. The pre-order link is in the description of this video. Also, be sure to check out my latest travel vlog. We are hitting Lucerne, Switzerland, and get to know all about this adventure, traveling from Geneva to Lucerne by train, staying in a castle, all of the details. I break it all down for you in this video. So be sure to check that out. That's also in the link in this description. All right. So with that being said, housekeeping out of the way, let's dive into the tea, okay? What you really came here for today, okay? Kenya Moore is back in the building. Kenya Moore hair care. You guys are getting a lot more of Kenya Moore on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for Sweet 16. Now, Love B. Scott is reporting that Kenya joins the previously announced Portia Williams as one of the only 2 peaches from previous seasons officially set to come back for now. Okay? This is for now. Nothing else has been solidified, though I have a theory that we may see Drew in some capacity. That's my theory, just based on a lot of things, but I'm not necessarily sure. Let's dive further into the story and the exclusive that B. Scott gives us. All right. Now, B harkens back to a story that they posted that producers were seeking to reboot the cast with a batch of fresh peaches for Sweet 16. Now, Candy was initially expected to anchor the new cast, right? But this unplanned departure of hers, because Candy said, y'all are holding up my coins. Everybody was surprised, including the network and production. So, casting for these new ladies has been well underway for months, with production coming to the conclusion that fans would respond better to a Real Housewives of Miami style reboot with a few familiar faces instead of a full Real Housewives of New York overhaul. Now, they say that they hear that the final cast has not been solidified, but can expect to know which new ladies will be getting peaches in the coming weeks. And then they go on to point out the rumors of Kenya's return were first reported by our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. So, for me, this is good news. I mean, obviously, I felt like Kenya was coming back. I think a lot of you guys felt the same way. I think that the show operates better with her there because she is such a staple. She brings the reads, she's got the energy. She knows what to do when the camera comes on. And she plays well off of, with, or against Portia. Now, in terms of the soft reboot of it all, I do feel like I agree with the notion that what we do is bring back familiar faces, but also new faces at the same time. Miami is a great example of the level of the quality of show that can exist when you bring in fresh energy and mix it in with the old. The Real Housewives of New York, in its current incarnation, is one that does not interest me as much. But what they did back in season, I think it was maybe 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it was season 5 when they cut half the cast and they brought 3 new ladies in. That definitely was a great season, and it shook up the dynamics and it refreshed the cast from that point forward. It just boom, the energy just it gave what needed to be given. All right. Let's discuss the Real Housewives of Dubai. All right. Now, I need to know how many of you guys actually even remember this show at this point. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? I do. I actually enjoyed the first season, to be quite honest with you. And it was probably one of the first times where I said, I'm enjoying just actually watching it so much that I didn't even want to recap it. Sometimes I will just want to enjoy a show just for the pure joy of it. I love Dubai. I love what it brings, having been to Dubai and understanding the level of fabulosity that this show has the potential to bring excites me. And so we'd known that the season had been finished since last year because they showed a premiere episode or teased a premiere episode, I think, at BravoCon. You guys can tell me in the chatterization. I myself was not at the BravoCon. However, I did hear. Now, this season will not actually begin to air until June. Okay. And we'll talk about the schedule in a second. But I just kind of want to give you guys an overview of what is going on per Bravo's actual site. So let's see if we can pull up what Bravo has to say about this. Because I do think that it is very interesting. All right. So we're going to be getting a new castmate. Um, Her name is Talene Marie. All right. Now, they say fans will get to meet Talene when the new season premieres and learn all about her. Okay. According to a press release, she is new to the group. She's going to be introduced to the ladies through her longtime friend, Carolyn Brooks. All right. Now, the new season will premiere on Sunday, June 2nd at 8 p.m., which I'm assuming will be after the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And then it's going to actually move starting on June the 11th to a Tuesday night time slot at 9 p.m. For me, I just kind of feel like, why do we need to do this switcheroo? I feel like we've already been inconsistent with getting the season to air, and the tea has been that it was due to scheduling issues or something of the sort. I mean, it's just very, very interesting to me. All right. So let's also find out what else is going on. All right. We've got Lisa Milan and we've got Chanel Ayan going at it. You know, they used to be the best of bosom buddies. Okay. But now that Chanel Ayan has grown a lot closer to Caroline Stanberry, things are left a little weird. Okay? Things are left a little weird. All right. The trailer is out for you guys who haven't seen it. You guys can head on over to bravotv.com. All right. And just to give you a rundown of everything that's sort of happening with each one of the ladies, they do give us a little bit of detail about the storylines. It says Chanel is launching a new cosmetics line, and she set aside her differences with Caroline Stanberry and has developed a new friendship. However, the duo gets too close, and Ayan ruffles feathers with her bestie, Lisa Milan. I think we've known about this beef for quite some time. If you've just kind of looked at Instagram, and you would have been able to see that. All right. Caroline Brooks, who is another one of my favorites. Caroline Brooks has been honestly one of my favorites even before the show started. I don't know why. I actually ended up following her when I found out about, her participation in the show, as I often do, just to kind of get a feel for who these ladies are and the lives that they lead. And I just like her energy. Anyway, she is stretched thin as she manages her bustling spa, the Glass House, and struggles to maintain a work-life balance. Brooks introduces her friend of over a decade, Talene, who is the new girl who is off to the very right, the far right, but feels betrayed when Talene develops her own relationships with Brooks' frenemies. Sarah, who is seated beside Talene, okay, she is sort of seated on one of these little couch ottoman. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. Sarah Al-Madani tests the waters with a new love interest from Germany, but the long distance may prove to be too big of a challenge. Sarah and Caroline struggle to find common ground. Um, we talked a little bit about Talene earlier. When she becomes friends with Caroline, that sort of rocks the boat with her and Brooks. Lisa Milan is feeling the stress at home and work, which is definitely mentioned in the trailer, as she balances her kids' busy schedules and her maternity line, Mina Rowe. As she leans on Ayan for support, she realizes their friendship might not be as strong as she thought. And then Caroline Stanberry, who most of us may remember from her days on Ladies of London. She was a favorite of mine on that show. With her dream still under construction, Caroline Stanberry and husband Sergio realize the honeymoon is over and they're forced to live in close quarters with their best friend. Tensions continue to mount as the couple must decide if they're ready for a child. And then we will have a friend to the show named Sabah Yusuf. Okay. And we really don't really get any information or intel about her role other than being a friend. So that's the tea on Dubai. Do you guys think that you'll be watching this show? Do you want me to recap this show? Honestly, to me, given that we won't have Potomac, we won't have Married to Medicine, I think that Jersey and Dubai will be the things that take us through the summer. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And of course, I will catch you in the next video.